so freaking bad. Wrestle me.
Welcome, everybody, to Juice Pro Wrestling, episode 95, The War of Attrition. Woo! Yeah! With me in studio today is the lovely Maria. What's going on?
I'm excited for my first podcast.
That's right. And Maria is the beau of one Steve Tortorello. Woo! What's up, Steve? How you doing, brother?
Juice, my friend, it is good to be back.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to talk, excited to hang out, and excited for wrestling.
Yeah, I'm excited for February 15th.
Oh,
yeah.
Valentine's Day is going to be nice. The day after is going to be nicer.
That's right. February 15th, for all of you that are not in the know, and even for those of you that are in the know, Warrior Wrestling 8 is taking place. Another huge card, another great cause. You guys knock it out of the park every time. I think now I wasn't at the first two, but I've been to every one since. Now there's 9 matches, right?
There's 9. Yep.
So this is one of your shorter cards.
Yeah, so the thing is, those War of Attritions are technically like 3 matches apiece.
Right.
So if you wanted to look at it that way, then we've got 13 matches. So...
All right.
9 on the card, but it's really going to be 13 falls for the evening. So it's going to be a long night. We've already timed it out. It's going to be a good night, but you're getting your money's worth. I'll tell you that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that you guys, this is, it's kind of like, how would you put that in the words? I mean, it's like a gimmick thing, going on. Your first, like, kind of gimmick.
Yeah, so we did this for the first time at Warrior 2, and it's how we crowned the first champion. Brian Cage beat Rey Mysterio, Phoenix, Pentagon, Swan, Guevara, Cobb, Austin Aries. It was incredible. And we've kind of sat on it ever since and thought, well, when do we bring it back? It worked really well. We liked it a lot. And after we'd had it kind of brewing, we'd kicked it around for 6, kicked it around for 7, and after 7 was over, Eric and our buddy Kyle and I sat down in the diner at 2:30 in the morning, and we're like, well, how the hell do we top that? And we just kind of kicked around a lot of ideas, and we said, it's time. I don't know that we'll have a draw like Will Ospreay and Minoru Suzuki again, as far as like a big star you can rarely ever see in Chicago. But what we can give people is a match they've only seen once before.
Yeah.
And as we talked through all the different names, we went back and forth at the diner. Do we do it for the men's title or the women's? The men's or the women's? And then somebody said, why don't we do it for both? It's like the Royal Rumble. You got the men's rumble, the women's rumble. Well, you've got 2 War of Attrition matches. And we found the 8 best people we could on either side of the card. And now you get to enjoy, the listener.
Yeah, that's right. And this is Tessa Blanchard's first defense since winning the belt.
Correct.
So I'm really excited to see this. And you picked out some lovely, lovely superstars for this match, man.
Well, thank you.
Have you guys... I'm trying to think. You haven't had, you got some, just looking down the card here, you got some first timers definitely, but I could have swore that you had Madison Rayne before?
No, we haven't.
I didn't think so. But
the
for
only
some reason
repeats from the women's match are Tessa, Kylie, and Britt.
Right.
Everybody else is new.
So you got that. You got Big Swole.
Yes.
You got, who else you got here? Because a couple of these girls I'm not familiar with. The
Sure.
blonde and the other, the girl with the bandana.
Yes. So Ray Lynn is out of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
She's a mixed martial arts background. Ooh. She's in Women of Wrestling WOW, which is that other series on Access that Tessa stars in. It's owned by the Buss family that owns the Lakers. And so she's really, really good, hasn't broken out yet. The other girl, Tasha Steeles, is from Florida. She's been on NWA's Power a couple of episodes.
Okay, yeah.
Really, really talented wrestler. And actually, we've had several people recommend her for the past 3 or 4 shows. And so those are 2 of the unknown names that we have on there. The other ones are big ones. Like we said, we've got Britt, we've got Kylie, Madison Rayne, Taya Valkyrie, and then who am I missing?
She's also making her debut, right, Taya?
Yeah, we've not had Taya before, not had Madison before. Big Swole, like we talked about from AEW.
Yeah.
So that was the other thing too. A lot of people asked, why don't you bring Jordan back, or why didn't you get Kira Hogan, or we didn't want to be too Impact heavy. So we have 3 stars from Impact. We've got 2 from AEW. Kylie's a true independent. 1 from WOW, 1 from NWA. We wanted somebody from everywhere.
See, I like how you guys have kind of marketed this too when you're wording it in the emails and stuff. So you have like MLW versus Impact versus you know all the marks out there, and guys like me, I sit there and I look at it like that. You know, like if people in the know that know these wrestlers and where they're from, that's kind of like looking at these promotions coming and fighting each other. It's pretty awesome.
I was talking to somebody this weekend, and I said, it's almost like we're a train station, and you have all these different promotions from everywhere, and the only place they cross over is Warrior Wrestling.
That's right.
Because it couldn't happen in AEW or in Impact or in MLW. The only place where they're all crossing paths is in Chicago Heights, and that's pretty darn cool.
On FITE TV.
On FITE TV.
Yeah. How'd that come about? You reach out to them, or
so they kind of partnered with Highspots. We've been streaming on Highspots for a while,
right?
And they reached out to us because they're building a stronger relationship with Highspots, and they said, "Hey, in addition to Highspots, would you guys be interested in being on FITE TV?" And we said, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah.
So we got bumped up and got a lot of eyeballs from Warrior 7, from Ospreay and Suzuki, and
I bet,
a lot of people ordered it all across the country. A lot of people overseas, which is crazy. So we get a little bit of a breakdown from them on who ordered and when, et cetera. And you've got people in England watching. We've got people in Singapore watching. It's like they're watching our show from Chicago Heights.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like how you said too. It's Warrior, and not just Warrior, but I mean the Midwest itself is like a melting pot.
Yes.
Professional wrestlers want to be here.
Yes.
For various promotions, and especially you guys, because you guys are like the freak of nature that's starting to swell when you get big enough. A little Ultimate Warrior for you. I feel like you guys are that, and you give that opportunity to, like we just talked about, the women involved in the War of Attrition match that haven't had a chance to shine on like your guys' stage, or many of the other like bigger, which I kind of put you guys up there in that huge platform of independence, out of the entire country. Because look at the cards you book. I mean, it's silly how good it is.
There's a lot of people in the house, and there's a lot of eyeballs on it online, and that's in it. We want to bring names that to the south suburbs, but we also want to introduce names that we think are great that should be more known. So a perfect example of that is Sam Adonis.
Yes.
So before Warrior 1, we, Eric and I watched a million hours of wrestling all over the country. What are we going to put together? And we thought there was something special in Sam Adonis. We brought him in for Warrior 1, and he was even better than we'd imagined. Yeah. And so little by little by little, we're featuring him more and more and more. People should see him.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we want to bring the name that you know, but we also want to show you the name you don't know and hopefully help them get a bigger platform. Yeah,
and that's great. It's great networking, business relationship-wise. And you guys, I've been in your backstage area. It's top notch. Like I was telling you the other night at BLP, you guys, I don't see how you can't book anybody because the way you take care of the boys,
Yeah.
And just everybody, not just the boys, everybody involved, from what I've witnessed at your show, gets taken care of. And, from the catering to the pay and all that, you guys knock it out of the park, man. We need more people like that across the country to do what you guys do. And it would be a great place for everybody.
For a lot of promotions and promoters, the professional is missing in professional wrestling.
Exactly.
It is a VFW hall, a bar, it's whatever, and they don't treat people real well. For us, so I've been the principal of the school where we host the events for the last 6.5 years, and I run it like I'd run a conference or a meeting. Yeah. If we were bringing people in for a conference on education, high school English or something, we'd feed them, we'd take care of them, we'd make sure that we treat the wrestlers the same way.
Hospitality.
And for so many of the wrestlers, they're blown away because they get so little of this at so many other promotions. And it's like, this is just basic how to run an event, regardless of what kind of event it is. So for us, it wasn't even something where we thought we were going out of our way and doing anything special.
Just being you.
We're just being us.
And it behooves you to do it because, these guys are going and tell, hey, you got to go work for Warrior because these guys know their shit. They know what they're doing.
They're going to pay you. They're going to feed you. They're going to give you, beer after the match if you want it, and you get to enjoy a great show and meet a lot of fans. I am always floored when, as we're talking to the wrestlers day of or leading up, so many of the guys share horror stories from other promotions. And, where they get stiffed or they're supposed to get a ride and they don't get a ride, or they're supposed to make, $100 for that night. And the promoter's like, look, it was a bad house. Here's $20 at the end of the night. And for us, that's not even in consideration. If we agreed on what you're going to get paid, that's what you get paid.
Right.
That's just professional.
Yeah, especially for these out-of-towners. I've gotten stiff several times going on tour with the band and stuff. And it's like, well, we didn't do this. Here's whatever. I remember showing up in Arizona, I think it was like Phoenix for a show.
Yeah.
And the booker, he completely just bailed. Oh, God. It was like us and two other bands. The dudes were like going to bust in the windows at his record shop. Because it's like, hey, we had an agreement, a contract written out, and you owe us, Like, he ended up getting us our money, and we played at some little dive bar downtown or something like that. But yeah, I feel the pain with those guys because there is a lot of rats out there, man.
Yes.
They want these names and superstars and to draw, but they don't realize that, like, hey, if you don't take care of these guys, you're gonna have that one-off show. You're gonna put a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and then you ain't gonna be doing any other shows.
No.
And if you are, you're gonna be having like the local yokel hillbilly guys.
Yep.
That nobody knows or nobody cares about that don't draw a dime.
Mm-hmm.
So
You got to take care of people. Thank you. We're just doing what we do.
Yeah. So let's get into the other War of Attrition match.
Ooh.
Now it's the Warrior Championship, but
Correct.
obviously it's a World Heavyweight Championship belt. Brian Cage, the champion. Tell us who he's squaring off against.
So we've got 8 guys in here that we think is a pretty cool combination. But the biggest one that people are, at least so far, are very excited about is Lance Archer.
Yeah.
The Murder Hawk monster. Everybody dies. Veteran of WWE, TNA Impact, Ring of Honor briefly, and really has been in New Japan for a long time as a tag guy until last year when he split out on his own, took the G1 by storm, won the U.S. title. He and John Moxley just tore down the Tokyo Dome.
Yep.
This guy, he's 42 years old. He's been great for 20 years.
That old?
He's 42.
Wow.
But this past year, he just broke out like he never had before. And everybody's hot for this guy. And so we had a lot of people asking after Warrior 7, like Cage and Archer, right? Cage and Archer. And we're like, wait. So of all the guys in the match, there's a lot of people excited for Brian Cage and Lance Archer to go one-on-one, which I don't know that they ever have before. They might have somewhere years and years and years ago, but not that I'm aware of. So that's one big one. The next set of guys in the match, Elgin and Sam Adonis.
Yeah.
So they had the 20-minute draw at Warrior 7. They talked a little bit afterwards, and a lot of people said, are they going to go again? Are they going to go no time limit? They're both in the match.
Yeah.
And the unique thing there is it's a 3-stage match. They might end up on opposite sides in stage 1. They might be teammates and have to work together. They might be teammates and have to work together deep into the match. So we don't know what's going to happen between the two of them, but Elgin and Adonis also in the match. Elgin and Cage have history because they had a big title match at Warrior 6. It was a street fight. Elgin put him through a table. There were trash cans involved, you name it. Adonis has never been in the title mix. And we talked earlier about him coming up little by little in Warrior shows. A lot of people think he walks away with the belt because he's been growing and growing and growing in Warrior. So you got Cage, Archer, Elgin, Adonis. The next two are 2 high flyers that are absolutely unbelievable. Andrew Everett, who we've had before.
Yeah.
TNA, ROH, Andrew the Giant, the choke slam monster.
I love it.
And Alex Zane, who has just taken off in the last 8 months.
The Taco King,
The
man.
Taco King, the master of Taco Bell. Guy can do stuff. The only person in the world, I think, that he's akin to is Will Ospreay as far as physically what he can do.
Yeah.
Flips and twists and things like that.
And he almost stopped.
He was a backyarder for years, and he kind of got out of it for a while, just got back into it last spring, blew up with some clips from GCW on 4th of July, and now he's been everywhere. He just did Japan for 6 weeks. Shima saw his clips online and said, I want you to come and train with me and tour Japan. So he went out, he spent 6 weeks in Japan touring and learning under Shima. He's gotten a couple of ROH dates. He has a whole lot on the horizon. So this is a guy who the casual fan might not know, but if you're a diehard, like if you're like a baseball fan, you've got this giant AAA prospect coming up and he's going to be huge when he gets to the Sox or the Cubs, whatever. That's Alex Zane.
Right.
This kid has every tool, everything that you need, and he's just poised to break out when he makes it to the majors. So he's going to be incredible. Him and Everett are a good combination. Him against Cage. Cage's size and agility with Zane. Everett, the Giant is probably going to face off with Archer, and we'll see what happens there. Right? There's all of these things. Last 2 guys in the match are 2 luchadors. First one was Taurus, who won the lucha match at Warrior 7.
Yeah.
When you talk about unique characters in wrestling, this guy, he's a human minotaur. And he looks the part. He's terrifying. He's built like a bull, but the dude can fly.
Yes,
and
he
can move, and he's agile in a way that a guy that size shouldn't be. So you've got another monster to butt heads with Elgin and Archer and Cage, but he can also fly and move, so Everett and Zane. And then the last guy is the one probably least known, unless you're a crazy diehard wrestling person, Aramis, a luchador who stole the show at PWG's Battle of Los Angeles this year. He had a match with Phoenix where Phoenix got on the mic afterward and said, everyone watch. this guy is the future of Lucha Libre. He's incredible. He's young. I think he's 19 years old.
Really?
Yes.
A tenderoni.
Right?
Oh, man.
He's a greenhorn.
Yeah.
But he's unbelievable. So watching him interact with Taurus and Zayn and Everett, we think quality in ring wise, the main event of Warrior 8 might be better than the main event of Warrior 7,
Ooh,
which had the Rascals, Ospreay, Romero, and Red.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
God.
But if you look at this list of guys, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, it is. And I really love the possibility of like Cage and, like you said, in Black Taurus or Taurus, wherever you want to call him, going at it. And Elgin versus Taurus, because he is another one of those guys. He's a brute.
Yes.
And he's super athletic. You know, great guy, great get for you guys, man.
Yeah.
I do want to kind of transition though into you brought up Shima, however you say that. I'll never get it right. You guys got the Strong Hearts.
Yes.
Holy shit. And I was like, was that your first match announcement?
It sure was.
And it came out of nowhere. Like, I remember I was at work and all of a sudden I was like, oh, God! Slap me in the face.
Yes.
I'm like, against the Rascals.
Yes.
You guys make dreams come true. You know
We're
that?
trying. You know, and
Jeez.
the thing is, too, what we try to do, and this is the other piece of the secret sauce, is we talk to the talent.
Yeah.
Which a lot of promotions don't.
Right.
So, like, you know, we talked to the Rascals after that incredible main event at Warrior 7. Who do you guys want next? Like, oh, we made some ideas, whatever. And then Shima reached out to us. He sent me a direct message on Twitter, and he said, hey, I've heard about you guys through so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. We're going to be in North America for a short stretch in February. Do you guys have a show? And I said, well, I was
We
actually
do
just...
now.
we do now, right? And so if you're listening and you don't know the Strong Hearts, they were on Double or Nothing. They were on All Out. Shima faced Kenny Omega at Fyter Fest over the summer. Shima's a Japanese legend, and his two proteges, T-Hawk and Lindemann, are young and unbelievable.
Right.
And so they're spending basically a month in North America, mostly Mexico. They're working Mexico all throughout February, but they're coming up from Mexico City for our show to face the Rascals. The Rascals actually trained with Shima in Japan 2 years ago. So when they went from being good to being gone for 2 months and they came back and they were unbelievable, it's because they trained with Shima. And so now all of them in one match together, again, talk about match quality, they're going to kick the crap out of each other. It's going to be incredible.
It's going to be nuts. I'll tell you this. I love the Rascals.
Yes.
They're great dudes. Man, they're going to explode.
Yeah.
They are going to absolutely explode this year. And great get for Impact to have these guys on their show. They got to be next tag champs.
And I was actually having this conversation. Eric and I were having this conversation with Dez after Warrior 7, where we said Impact needs to start a trios division. Because as much as they're having Trey in the storyline with Ace Austin, where Ace is hitting on his mom or something, and Dez and Zach are in tag stuff,
it's ridiculous.
They are at their best as a unit.
Exactly.
Impact should just be bringing in other three-man units to face the Rascals. Maria and I were talking, the Warrior 7 was her first show, and we were in her kitchen talking a couple days later, and she said, you really hyped up Will Ospreay and Amazing Red, but the Rascals were just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree. I agree.
Like, that could have gone on for I was tired, and that could have gone on for another 20 minutes, and I would have watched, because they were insane, and it was almost like they were copying each other's moves or mimicking. I mean, it was so much fun to watch.
Super acrobatic, super athletic. Man, it's unbelievable what these guys can do nowadays. It's all the stuff that I was scared to do on the trampoline as a kid.
Sure.
I don't want to do a backflip because I see my neck cracking every time I land. I'm not going to do it. No way. But, man, these guys, it's super impressive. I really do. I love everything about the Rascals, man. They are so cool. They're really awesome guys to kick it with. The performance in the ring is second to none. I mean, you can have your Will Ospreays and, like you said, all those guys. But 2020, it's the Rascals' time.
Yes.
Watch them guys.
Although I do love Amazing Red a lot. So.
Yeah.
Well, he's coming back.
I should have brought my Amazing Red action figure. I got a Jax TNA figure that I got at Wizard World for my son. My son's got a huge Rubbermaid. He's 12 now, so he don't give a shit about wrestling anymore, unfortunately. Yeah. Whatever. He's into football. Let him have it.
Fine.
He'll be back.
Yes, he will.
But, dude, I got probably 400 figures in this thing, dude. You name it. And there's some weird from LJNs to Jax to Marvel toys when they were doing TNA toys and all that crap. I got to bring it next time. Next time you're here, I'll bring a sample for you to check out.
We could do some fantasy booking with action figures on the table here.
I do. I've always wanted to do that. I was when WWE hired that dude to do the stop motion stuff. when I was a kid, I used to do like stop motion with my Mortal Kombat G.I.
Sure.
Joe guys, like Scorpion in the sandbox and lit a fire. And I wasn't supposed to be lighting fires. I lit in my sandbox. And then he fell in. I'm like, oh, shit. And like, while the camera's still recording, I go and I grab it. And I burn the hell out of my hands. Like, I come back in. It's like, what'd you do? Like, nothing.
I fell and burned it on the
It's only
grass.
left the tape in there and like got caught for it.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I love doing like stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
So let's get to bust out another match for me that you got, Steve.
Let's stick with Amazing Red. Amazing Red, TNA,
Thanks for
X
the
Division legend. Thank you. I'm good at transitions. X Division legend, obviously, was huge in our main event, Warrior 7.
Yeah.
Him one-on-one with Alex Shelley. Also, TNA, X Division, Motor City Machine Guns, you name it. They've never gone one-on-one before.
That's crazy.
They've had triple threats, fatal four-ways, Ultimate X matches, you name it. Alex Shelley, Amazing Red, one-on-one for the first time.
Shit. I got an Alex Shelley figure, too. I have the Motor City Machine
Right?
Guns.
The Guns.
Damn it.
I mean, the Guns were my team from like mid-2000s TNA.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loved the Guns.
Yeah.
And what's incredible is both of these guys, Shelley and Red, have only gotten better. And each of them retired for about a year.
Right.
Both from injuries. Shelley went and got his degree, and he became a physical therapist, an occupational therapist, and he still has a 9-to-5 as a therapist.
Yeah.
Red retired from injuries. They both came back out of retirement this past summer.
We just saw Shelley, too, at Black Label.
Shelley was just at
tearing
Black
it up.
Label. He and Isaiah had an incredible match.
Yeah. Really awesome.
And Shelley is just at the top of his game. So you've got these two guys that are lightning quicker than they were in their prime and smarter than they were in their prime,
Yes.
one-on-one for the first time. So if you watched TNA in the mid-2000s and you live anywhere near Alex Shelley versus Amazing Red, what are you doing? Get your ass to Chicago Heights
Right.
on February 15th.
I wouldn't doubt that TNA or Impact tries to copy that now because they're bringing. Did you see
The
they're bringing?
TNA over Mania
Yeah.
weekend,
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know they got to book some of those guys.
Oh, they've got to do an Ultimate X match and a King of the Mountain match and
Yeah.
all of their crazy stuff.
Well, Red also he started what was it, the House of Glory,
Yes, in New York.
and sold it recently to Master P,
Yes.
which was let me make him say.
See, when I think Master P, I think of the Space Jam soundtrack because I think he has 2 tracks on there.
He probably does. And it's funny because I think Jordan handpicked all of those jams he wanted on there.
Master P.
Yeah, there you go. Got to make him say,
So that match is going to be incredible, and we're going to give them all the time in the world to tear the place down.
Yes.
I think that is just going to be a treat. And if you weren't a TNA mid-2000s fan, just come enjoy. These guys are amazing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And both those guys, I mean, Shelley's got to be getting close. He's got to be in his upper 30s.
He's got to be at least,
Yeah.
right? Because he was wrestling in 2004. Well, I don't know how young he was.
Early TNA, because he was doing that stuff with Nash, too.
Yes.
In the X Division.
I saw him in Ring of Honor in 2004. I remember
Yeah.
going to a show with my dad at Chicago Ridge, and he was part of Generation Next.
Yeah.
It was like Jack Evans, Alex Shelley,
Yes.
a couple other guys, and this was fall of 04. And, I mean, I was, how old was I? 19, 20, I was in college. So, I mean, he maybe he was that young, but he's got to be up there.
If you can get Jack Evans, I'm just going to leave that in there.
I'll
I'm
see
sure
what I
he
can
thought
do.
about it. Sure he
Cage
thought
has suggested him. I don't know what his AEW deal is like. I got to investigate.
Right.
But like him and Angelico as a tag team, okay,
Yeah.
right?
Against the Rascals.
Against the Rascals?
Just
Oh,
put the
man.
Rascals against
The
everyone.
post party would be epic.
Oh, yeah.
Next, Bully Ray, Bubba Ray Dudley, coming to the south suburbs.
EC-Dub.
Oh, my gosh, we are excited. ECW original, obviously. WWE bazillion-time tag team champion.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
TNA Hall of Famer.
TNA Hall of Famer. He had that run with Aces and Eights. He had that run as Bully Ray when he was the lead heel in
Yep.
TNA. He's in Ring of Honor now. He went back to WWE for a couple of years. The dude has been literally everywhere.
Yeah.
And he embodies that generation of ECW and WWE. And the really cool thing for us, whenever we put a show together, it's not just the star, it's the match. It's like, oh, we can get so-and-so. Well, what's the match?
Right,
And how is
what's
it going
the
to be
story?
unique? Bully Ray, Brian Pillman Jr. because Bully Ray and Brian Pillman himself
Yep.
in the original 95, 96, and 97 ECW were two of the innovators, the crazy guys before Pillman went to WWF.
Smart Marks.
Yes.
I love that promo.
And now Pillman's son versus Bully Ray.
That's crazy.
And what a
Bully's
cool
still
thing.
in great shape too,
Yes.
man.
Yeah. And he's hosting Busted Open Radio.
Yeah.
He's
Shout out to Jonathan Hood, who actually just appeared on that too. What up, boy?
hello, Jonathan. So we're excited for that match. That is going to be
That was not to interrupt you,
Please.
but that really that threw me off in a good way. I was like, holy shit! Like they got
Yes.
Bully Ray, because you guys. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of, from what I know, in the ROH camp. There's been a lot of weird actions taking place and
Yes.
whatnot, and now things are kind of turning over.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. It was just off the wall to see that, like Bully Ray. What? Yeah. Okay.
we'll
Sign
take it.
me up. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's one of those matches where it's not going to be the quickness and the crazy moves of the Rascals or Shelley or Red or
No.
War of Attrition, but it's going to be two characters, and it's going to be a fight.
It will be a fight. I
Yes.
think it'll be. It's the story's there. It's
Yes.
gonna, and the rest will write itself. I mean,
And Brian Pillman's been trying to prove himself. So if you've watched the last several Warrior shows, he had a long-running feud with Frank the Clown and Ego Anthony last season, so to speak, last school year. This year, he teamed up against Sam Adonis and Wardlow with Gringo Loco, fell a little bit short, and then he fell a little bit short last show against Lance Archer. Pillman is a star just waiting to get out of the gate.
and he's only what? This is his third year in the
Yes.
business.
Yes.
I
He's
mean,
green.
He also fell a little bit short when he stood next to me. But
Well, yeah.
anyways,
I-oh.
sorry, Brian. I love you.
But no, he is like Alex Zane, one of those guys that in a year you're going to be like, I saw him in a high school gym in Chicago Heights.
Yeah.
And this might be the match that Pillman finally breaks through.
Right.
And it's going to be cool to see.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's he's forging his own path. You
Yes.
know, he's got the name. He'll obviously get that rub from that, but I think
Yeah.
he really is focusing on like just, hey, I am Brian Pillman Jr., but I am Brian Pillman Jr.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
I'm not my dad.
Yep.
There's gonna be that thing, that stigma, if you will. But that's it, man. He's every time I've seen him, I've rarely seen him win, actually. I've seen him wrestle like 8 or 9, 10 times. I don't know. But he's paying his dues, and it's great, man. He's taking it, and he's doing great. And anytime I've seen him do some like promo stuff with like the Heart Foundation,
Sure.
MLW, he was gold, man. You can
Yes.
see he's getting into that character, getting into that lifestyle, feeling comfortable in his own skin.
Yes.
You know?
And he's another guy. We were talking Black Label earlier. The first
Yeah.
time I saw him wrestle, I knew of him, but the first time I saw him wrestle was at a Black Label show a year and a half ago. And I was sitting there and just went, this guy's a star.
Yeah.
This guy, like, he just has all of it. So shout out to Mikey Blanton from Black Label. Mikey does this incredible job, hi Mikey, of finding the next generation of guys and girls. And so
He's a
yeah.
freak.
he is. Mikey is a wrestling savant.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I ran AEW or WWE, I'd hire Mikey from Black Label to find me the next stars,
Yep.
because he's very good at it. And one of those that he featured was Pillman, and we were like, after the performance we saw him have at Black Label, we approached him and said, we'd love to have you on a Warrior show. And every time we've had him, he hits it out of the park. So we're going to keep bringing him back because we love him. He does great work, and he's only getting bigger and bigger.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bigger, better, better.
Yes.
What's next?
Next, lucha match, Cavernario and Templario. Templario, a lot of people might not know that name if you've not seen a Warrior show. He was Warrior 6 and 7. He hit it out of the park on both of those shows. Dude is jacked to the gills. He can fly. He can catch guys. He can do everything. He fought Soberano. He fought Jake Lander from down in Springfield.
That was great.
Oh, that match against Lander was awesome. Maria loved that as well.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, just
Like a lot.
like a lot. Crazy energy that he is open to both of our last two shows, Warrior 6 and Warrior 7. So this time he's got Cavernario. If you don't know Cavernario, right now he's in New Japan. They do this joint thing with CMLL where the Luchadors tour Japan, and he's tearing it up. Dave Meltzer has said several times in the last year and a half, once Cavernario gets to the United States, he is going to become like Pentagon or Phoenix.
Yeah.
Because he's that talented.
Or Ray or Psychosis,
Yes,
you know?
he's that charismatic. This gimmick is basically he's a caveman. He's a barbarian. So he's got mud and writings and whatever all over him. But he just wrestles like he's out of his mind. And he's just so incredibly talented. Him versus Templario. We say this for a lot of these. That's the match. That could be the match of the night. I mean, if they go nuts, they will leave with 900 new fans. It's going to be pretty darn cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, it's going to be great.
Another guy, man, should made that triple threat and throw. I'm going to play Booker here.
Ooh, please do.
Juice the Booker, Vikingo.
You know what? All right, he is, I think, getting closer and closer to having his visa.
Okay.
But he has not had a visa to work outside of Mexico. So everybody is waiting. The moment that guy has a visa, he's going to be booked every day for the next year.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
I saw him in AAA, and then Impact did some stuff with him. I was like, this guy.
When they go south of the border, like these past 2 nights or 3 nights ago, whenever they tape in Mexico, they bring in some of those guys, and Vikingo is unbelievable.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Next up, tag match set up at Warrior 7. All Ego Ethan Page, the walking weapon Josh Alexander, the North, versus everyone's favorite team returning to Warrior Wrestling, the Space Pirates.
Space Monkey pin right over there.
Oh, look at that Space Monkey pin. Oh. Monkey is the greatest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And we set this up, Warrior 7. Ethan Page cut me off, cut our singer off, and talked about the North should have been there.
He
should
was
have
a
been
straight up asshole. I remember
He
that.
was.
It's like, come on, just do it. Come on, Ego.
I know. And I was like, geez. And then out come Monkey and Shane to make it right. So Impact's hottest, most dominant tag team versus the most beloved tag team in Warrior, the Space Pirates. You can't get any better than that.
Space Pirates, and there's some Canadian boys. But, man, I'll tell you what, they've left a huge impact, no pun intended, on just, I'd like to say like this area, obviously, Midwest, but just everywhere in America, anywhere they go, they are a super hot tag team. I mean, and they're a team you can get behind if you're a guy that's like, well, you know, I like the wrestling. They can wrestle. They can go. If you like the entertainment aspect of it, and obviously with Space Monkey and Saber too. And I love, speaking of, we got to go back to Black Label for a minute because you know what I'm getting at, right?
Yes, I do.
Oh, God. So All Ego, Ethan Page's music hits, and out comes Shane Saber as All Ego.
Yes.
I was like, it's all shaved, everything. And I'm sitting there wondering, like, man, how long is it going to take him to grow that facial hair back?
Right?
Like,
You got to look like a pirate next weekend, man.
Right? But, man, that was super entertaining. Killer. Both those guys knock it out of the park. I think that's another team in 2020 to watch out for because if one of these bigger promotions doesn't scoop these guys up, I'd be very much surprised.
Agreed.
I think they have everything.
Space Pirates could be on AEW Dynamite next Wednesday against Private Party and be amazing.
Oh, that would be so
It'd be
awesome.
amazing.
And I guarantee you, for those people that weren't aware of them, when they would see them for the first time, they would have them in the palm of their hands that night.
Yes. Space Monkey falls into the same category as a few other wrestlers for me. Danhausen was one of them.
Yes.
Where I heard of the gimmick, and I was like, oh, my God, he's a Space Monkey. All right.
Come out!
And I saw him at Chikara 2016 when they were touring through. I was like, all right, let's take a look. So he comes out and I was like, oh, God, he's a Space Monkey. 2 minutes into the match, I go, this guy's amazing. I take everything back.
Yeah.
I judged him too soon. It's funny. It's goofy. It's incredible. But he's an incredible athlete. He's a great wrestler. And everybody buys it immediately. So I was like, done. I withdraw my objection. He's amazing. And so when we did the very first Warrior Wrestling, one of the first emails they sent was to Space Monkey.
Nice.
And he said yes. And he said, can I bring my friends Kobe Durst, Shane Saber, and Mark Wheeler? And I said, put them in the car. Let's do it.
Love all them guys.
Yep. So that match is going to be a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. Space Monkey at Warrior 7. If you guys go on our YouTube, you can check out our Warrior 7 vlog. It's really entertaining. He was wearing this Eric Larson Spider-Man shirt where it's the Venom. It was a Spider-Man cover. I forget what issue it was, but Eric Larson, Venom, and then it's got Spider-Man in the eyes. And, like, my son's a huge Eric Larson fan right now. And, dude, I just freaked out when I saw that shirt. I'm like, holy shit, dude. He's like, yeah, good.
The half monkey, half human talk just gets me every time. It's never not funny.
Oh, I love it. I think when we did the Max Wood Grilled, we were out there during All Out weekend. Actually, the day of All Out, we took a party bus out there and stuff. We were raffling, I guess you could say. Yeah, it was a raffle. like gifts and wrestling things. They had like a Nikita Breznikov's book, and actually we gave away Space Monkey's banana flask.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Someone got lucky that night.
Damn, I would buy that. Space Monkey, sell those online.
Right? What we got next, Steve?
Next up, the Ego Robert Anthony and Frank the Clown.
Yes.
Versus another gentleman we saw featured at Black Label Pro, the most metal wrestler in the world,
Kick it!
Warhorse.
Come to take your life!
Oh, God, I love this guy. Love this guy.
You know what I love even more than I've loved the growth and development of him. Watching Jake Parnell become Warhorse over the past year has been so fucking cool for me. Especially being like, I'm a metalhead, you know? Like, I mean, I love all music, but metal's where my heart's at. And he's like into all that old school stuff and even some of the new school shit. And he's like bringing it into and it's not like a hokey gimmick. I mean, it works for him, you know?
It's him.
Yeah.
It was a guy who, and this is not a knock at all, because again, he's phenomenal. We're thrilled to have him booked. It was a guy who was a wrestler who had elements and colors and things and whatever, and then he just decided to tap into, what do I love, and like, who am I? Like, when I close my eyes in my bedroom, who am I? And he's the god of metal, and he just became that. And all of a sudden, his promos, his confidence, his wrestling, once you figure out who you are in your own skin, he just went from a 5 to a 15. And it's so cool. Again, kudos to Black Label for, among other places, for giving him that canvas to do that. And totally honestly, a year ago, I've seen Jake Parnell wrestle many times. Always thought he was good. Never had a bad thing to say about him. But like, oh, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
But then when he became Warhorse, me, Eric, Kyle, Mike Cassidy, everybody went, we need this guy.
Yes.
There's something special about Warhorse.
Yep. Same thing. I love he's got the Mayhem makeup. For those of you out there who are familiar with Mayhem, the most evil black metal band in all the land. And he comes out to Metallica, the Four Horsemen.
Yes.
He rocks. He gets the headbanging and shit going on. And he did it with Kylie, dude.
Yes.
That was great.
Kylie put a vest on and headbanged as much as she could with her hurt neck after the match.
Yeah, Jake's just he's tearing it up. I'm glad that you guys booked him. That was another one where I saw like on Facebook or Twitter, one of your social media outlets, and I was like, yes, finally the Warhorse has come to Warrior.
Yes, he is the Warrior Horse.
Yeah, he's gonna be the Warrior workhorse. He's gonna steal that show.
He is, and that's another thing. You know, he and Kylie probably stole the show this past weekend at Black Label. Them and the Stevens Lawler match were both incredible.
Yes,
I mean, Warhorse could steal the show with all of these crazy technical matches on the show. If Warhorse's fan base turns out and other people open their mind, if they don't know him yet, who's this guy, and they come in with an open mind, that could be the match of the night.
Well, you look at Black Label, I mean, it was divided 50-50. You had your Kylie chances, and you had your Warhorse chance, and it was powerful shit, man.
It was a fun environment to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
And I think especially going opposite Ego Robert Anthony and Frank the Clown, because Frank is just Frank. And I say that in the best way possible. What an incredible! Somebody told me a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it's you or somebody else. Frank the Clown is our Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
He's just that weasel that everybody loves to hate, but you love that you can hate him. And I think the promo between Frank and Warhorse is going to be incredible. Ego Robert Anthony is a phenomenal worker, phenomenal wrestler. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be good business.
And those guys are about to spike, too. Once again, we were at Freelance. You know, and Jesus, I got to give Matt Nix and everybody a shout-out there.
Yes.
That was my first show. Sretten's been to a few of them. Great show, great time, great vibes, much like Warrior, you know. It's a party, man.
Yes.
And to be able to go up with everybody and like Tom and just hang with the wrestlers and you and everybody, it's so cool.
Yeah.
You know, just watch. Like, and the way they ended that show was just like jaw dropping.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Holy shit, you can't do that to Kylie.
Right?
Sons of bitches.
Yes.
But they did, man. And it had this like sadistic, the first time, Frank's always been the weasel, right?
Yep.
But now he's got like this sadistic intent.
Yes.
You know, where he's gonna get, you know, Ego's gonna get that title. You feel it, you know? Like storyline wise. And I think that's gonna be a huge thing for them. And I know Freelance just released the poster for their next show with them.
Oh, did they?
Send the Clowns, yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, that's the main event of their show on February 7th, the week before our show. And that is going to be probably the most heated main event they've had since Kylie fought GPA a year and a half ago.
Yes.
I mean, and God bless Freelance as well, because as you said earlier, Matt Nix is incredible. Their vibe, it's a party. It's a party every show, and they do such a good job at long-term story building so that when it comes time for a big main event like that, everybody is
Payoff's
invested.
great. Yeah.
The payoff is great. So I mean, we're thrilled to have Ego and Frank, and then putting them against Warhorse. It's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be great.
Last one, I think, is Jonathan Gresham, the octopus from Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
If you don't know Jonathan Gresham, incredible technical wrestler. I think Jonathan Gresham, Alex Shelley, and Zack Sabre Jr. are the 3 best technical wrestlers in the world. And Gresham's actually exclusive to Ring of Honor. We worked out a little deal with Gresham and Ring of Honor so that he could do our show. And he's going up against Daga, who has been AAA, Lucha Underground. He tore it up on Impact with TJP. He's had some great matches with Elgin and some other guys. They've never faced off before. So, again, you've got Ring of Honor, New Japan, because Gresham's been a New Japan Best of the Super Juniors. Impact, AAA, Lucha over here. We're that train station where these trains cross in the night, and they battle it out at Warrior Wrestling.
Yeah. I feel like, what's his name? Who was the conductor, the famous conductor on Thomas the Tank Engine?
Oh.
But he was a filthy mouth comedian. I don't
George Carlin.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't know his name. You know?
Yeah. Well, he took
Shame
over
on me.
the original conductor was Ringo.
Ringo.
Yeah.
We could have been in the shoes for all you know. Yeah, totally, man. That man, you guys, what do you call him? What's his name? He's like the
octopus.
The octopus. But
yeah,
dude, that video he shot for you guys, that promo,
creepy,
super creepy,
yes,
super well done, and like I was like, kudos, man.
Yes.
Like, and I'm glad you guys have shit like that. You
yes.
know? Because I don't want there I don't want there to be no misconception about boundaries because you guys run at a Catholic school or anything like that. I mean, of course you're not going to get any over the top
sadomasochistic
sex,
weird stuff,
crazy shit. But I mean, you still get quality entertainment and stuff that's borderline like, wow, it was almost like something out of like a thriller or horror movie type deal that gets you like second guessing. Oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
And that creepy mask, the skull octopus mask,
best mask in wrestling. Yeah, period.
For sure, I'll agree. Except Pentagon did have a Carnage mask. He just did. So
well,
I'm a huge mark for Carnage. But yes, I will agree with that. And once again, Mikey, son of a bitch, you gonna owe me some royalties. Shout out to you because that was the first time I got to see him. Was through Black Label.
Really? You saw Gresham at Black Label? I didn't know he did one of their shows. Okay.
Yeah. He I'm trying to think, was it the Players Brawl? Man, all
South
these
Bend,
shows
maybe.
are starting to mix because it go to so many now. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, but that was it,
Yeah. But no, we're pumped because our goal is always with these shows, totally different types of matches. So you've got your Strong Hearts versus Rascals, Japanese strong style craziness. You've got your lucha match. You've got your technical match with Gresham and Daga. You've got your tag matches. You've got the women's War of Attrition, the men's War of Attrition, Bully Ray and Pillman. Nothing should be like something else on the card.
Yeah.
So nothing should ever have to follow, oh, this is like that match, but different. They should all be different. And that's our goal, is to present to you a buffet of totally different things, so each one is the best of its kind.
I lead at that table. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And every time I go there, and I really, really appreciate, you guys allowing us to come do our thing.
Oh, we love having you.
At the VIP Fan Fest. It's great to interact with all the wrestlers that we talk to. Just everybody that we know, like you guys, you, Eric, Jeremy, everybody involved. So real quick, I want to get in, if you can let everybody know, give them like the inside scoop on that VIP. Let's kick it.
Yes, sir. $100 ticket, which you're like, oh man, that's a little bit steep. Here's what you get. You get to meet every single wrestler on the show. You get a picture with every single wrestler on the show. You get an autograph from every single wrestler on the show. We have 39 wrestlers on this show. So it comes out to be like $2.30 a wrestler for a picture and autograph with Brian Cage, Lance Archer, Tessa Blanchard. And so it's just a really, really great value. You get to hang out with guys like Juice, guys like Two Heels, guys like Catch, Hook, and Shoot. Maybe drop in and do a quick cameo on a podcast here or there. There's vendors. Last time we had an artist fly in from Texas to sell his paintings. And so it's just a really cool atmosphere and environment. And you get to chat and talk to people. That's one of the best parts of it.
To me, it's the best display of the hashtag wrestling community.
Correct.
That there is going out there today. So,
yeah. That was always our goal. Yeah. So when we set out to do this the very first time, we said we wanted a festival of wrestling. So many people love the show, but they love before and intermission just as much because they get to meet everybody and talk, and it's just it's a fun community.
And the cool thing about, so let me bust this out for you guys that may not be in the know, because when you go to the Fan Fest, right, you pay that $100, and like Steve said, you break it down, it's well worth, the $1. Like, quit buying them cheeseburgers and save your damn money, and get tickets for us, because when you're at the Fan Fest, and I believe it starts at 5:00.
Yep, 5 to 6:30.
Yeah, so you got an hour and a half to go meet everybody, every wrestler, and get autographs, video, whatever the hell you want to do with them for free.
Yep.
For free. Now, I'm paying $100. No, settle down, Beavis. You're not paying $100 for that. What you are paying for is the opportunity to be able to mingle with these guys. So, yeah, they may charge you for a shirt or something, merchandise, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But during this time, this hour and a half period, you will not be charged to get pictures with them, to get videos with them, to get autographs with them. Now, but, once that's over, though, and you miss out on that, and you come in at, say, during the break, during halftime, it's a different story. But hey, that's why you need to snatch up that VIP ticket. That's why, to me, it's super special. And you get to hang out with us. You get to hang out with Two Heels. All these great people.
Yeah.
It's a freaking blessing.
It is. It's a party. It's an absolute party. And it's funny. So the last couple of shows I've gone into where we do the Fan Fest in the gym and had to be like, all right, well, it's time to break it down, everybody. The show's going to get started over in the other gym. And people are like, oh, can't we just stay here? Like, I got to go watch the show?
Yeah.
So it's a cool party. It's a good thing to be a part of. And, you just don't want to miss it. And it's funny, once people have gone, we have so many repeat customers, so to speak, for the Fan Fest. Because once people have gone once, they're like, oh, I'm always coming to this. Absolutely, every time.
You can't miss it.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you should. You'll never get these opportunities anywhere else. You won't. I'm sorry. I mean, there are places like Impact and ROH and whatever that do meet and greets or whatever before a show. But guess what? You're not in California or Vegas or wherever they're filming at, or Mexico. It's in your backyard.
Yeah.
Go to it. Even for you people up there living in Milwaukee, as Alice Cooper told me that's how they pronounce it. In St. Louis, and there's a lot of states around. It's not really that far of a travel distance, because I'm sure everybody out there, you can make plans and trips for anything else. This is something you want to plan to make a trip for.
Yeah, and it's really cool for us as we watch on the ticketing side to see everybody start buying their tickets and where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And now we have regulars who come from St. Louis, Memphis, Cleveland, north parts of Michigan, Green Bay. People are like, I'm driving down for Warrior. And it's really cool. And a lot of the people I will see over and over, show after show, I'm like, oh, you guys made the trip in from Cincinnati.
Yep.
And it's just become its own thing.
Yeah.
And once people have come, they come back.
Yeah, shout out to associate of ours on the show, Bruiser Bodie. He comes down from Racine for every show and brings people down with him, brings the family. It's you can't beat it. You really can't.
Yeah, and that was our goal. So we always wanted to do our own thing. We have our style of booking, our style of matches, but we really wanted that festival feel, that community feel, which you don't get at a lot of independent or even the big ones.
Right.
Where do you get a room with all these people?
Yeah, go to WrestleMania and the access and all that. I don't want any part of that.
Oh,
That's like going to a fucking Disneyland with itself, which, hey, it's Disneyland, all that's great, but me, myself, like, I would love to go spend a day at Great America or Disneyland where there's nobody there.
Yes.
I could experience everything myself. It blows my mind that people jump on this shit, because if you don't, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna go to like WrestleMania Access or something, walk around a place that's as crowded as like a C2E2, thousands of people. You're gonna wait in line forever, and you're probably gonna spend like $40 or $50 just to get up and take a picture, and then another $40 or $50 to get an autograph.
Yep.
You ain't got to do that at Warrior.
Nope.
That's the
one
great
price.
thing.
Come on in the door and hang out.
Yeah.
So if you're listening, join me and Juice. See our friend Space Monkey. See Brian Cage and everybody else, and just be part of the party.
Yeah. It's always a fun time.
Yeah.
Great time. And where can they get tickets at, Steve?
WarriorWrestling.net. Follow us at Warrior Wrestling on Twitter. No vowels in the second word, so Warrior, WRSTLNG. Ditto for Instagram, and find us on Facebook as well. But the big thing is go to the website, WarriorWrestling.net, grab your tickets. And we work really hard, too, to give you a good value for your price. So general admission's $35. There is not a bad seat in the house, as anybody can tell you. You know, my dad himself started in the first row for the first show, chose different seats around. Now his favorite seat is at the top of the bleachers.
Me too. I love the bleachers.
Because he gets rests his back on the wall up at the top of the bleachers,
Right.
and it gets to be up high. But there's not a bad seat in the house. So $35 gets you in the door. If you want to sit ringside, it's $100, so it's more expensive. But $35 is well worth it, and it's just a fun time.
Yeah, and bring some drums and horns.
Yes, if you are listening and you are the Lucha fans who bring the horns, the noisemakers, the drums, please bring them back. We love you guys.
Yeah. See, Sretton, I'm sorry, brother. I got to dig on you a little bit here.
Sorry.
He brought a tom drum. For those of you out there that know what a tom drum is.
Mm-hmm.
He never used it.
What?
And I told him, so he had it back there, and then, like, I wanted on our table when we were at the VIP thing. Let's just let someone just bang on this thing. I don't care. Let's make some noise.
Yeah.
You know, I'm all about making noise and being loud, like getting people involved. I don't want people just standing there and, like, got some fan drool rolling off your chin. Like, no. Like, let's have a good time. Like, you're good people. I'm good people. You know, I'm a dude. He's a dude. Like that Good Burger type of vibe. And he never brought it out. Like, we went to intermission. I'm like, go grab that drum. Go get it. Go get it, boy. And he was like, no, man. And he didn't do it.
Oh, man. So, yeah, Warrior 7 was drumless. Warrior 6 had a family with multiple drums.
I've seen the same one at MLW.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
awesome.
gosh. If you are listening, come back, because the wrestlers all loved you. And, of course, you always get, like, a couple people who are like, the people with the drums and the horns are disturbing my enjoyment. Of like, well, then you don't know wrestling.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
See these scissors? I'll cut you with these fiskers.
Oh, man, he's got fiskers.
Yeah, and they're dull.
Oh,
Had them since 4th grade. Shit.
it's the most painful kind of cut.
That's right.
Little rounded edge, just banging into you over and over.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, the vibe is so much fun, and the noisemakers, the horns, people stomping their feet, people clapping, people chanting. That's what makes it wrestling. You know, it's not a lecture; it's a wrestling show. So we want people to be energetic, get up off your seats, and go nuts all night.
Get on up. Yeah, that's what we want. And you can watch it on FITE TV, and then afterwards, right? It will
On
stream
Highspots Wrestling, yep.
Highspots Wrestling. So check it out. And be sure you check us out every Wednesday on any podcasting platform. We're on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you'd like, you can leave us a voicemail at 1-872-267-4199. And until next time, you know we gotta wet 'em up, wet 'em up, wet 'em up. I'm so wet for Steve Tortorello and Maria and Warrior Wrestling 8. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Oh! You gonna do sex to me?